It is a requirement for any chemical laboratory to have a laboratory fume hood, fume chamber, fume cupboard, as you may call it. Today we are going to discuss about use of a laboratory fume hood when handling hazardous material in a chemical laboratory. What is hazardous material? This is any solid, liquid or gaseous material that can harm people, other living organisms, property or the environment. Within a chemical laboratory setup, we encounter these hazardous materials in form of chemicals. We are expected to handle these chemicals carefully, and that's why we require a fume hood. So what is a fume hood? This is a ventilated enclosure in a chemistry laboratory in which harmful volatile chemicals can be used or kept. It limits exposure to hazardous or toxic fumes, vapor or dust. Why use laboratory fume hood? There are three ways in which chemicals can enter our body: through inhalation, ingestion, and direct contact. Inhalation is a major route of entry of chemicals into the body. Chemical fumes and vapors can directly enter our bloodstream, and small particles can lodge in the alveolar region of our lungs. A properly designed and operated fume hood reduces exposure to hazardous fumes, vapors, gases, and dusts. Proper use of the fume hood sash shields protects the worker from an uncontrolled reaction. How does a fume hood work? It works by protecting you from fumes you are working with. The fan sucks in the air towards the duct inside of the fume hood, towards the outside, or to the filters. This system works only if you bring the hood's door down at least 2/3 of the way. The narrower the opening, the swifter the air. Let us go through correct use of fume hood. Wear protective gear, masks, gloves, and goggles. Perform all work involving hazardous or volatile material in a fume hood. Check that the fume hood is operating correctly before you start work. To check the airflow, a strip of paper, tissue, or ribbon can be taped to a fume hood sash. Avoid cross drafts and disruptive air currents in front of the fume hood. Ensure that windows and doors near the fume hood are closed. Always keep work at least 15 centimeters in from the opening of the fume hood. Use the sash as a safety shield when boiling materials or conducting an experiment with reactive chemicals. Always keep sash as low as possible. As the sash is lifted, flow is increased so that the face velocity of air over a given cross-section of the sash opening is constant. When the fume hood is not in use, ensure that all materials are in sealed containers. Connect all electrical devices outside of the fume hood to avoid sparks, which may ignite a flammable or explosive chemical. If the fume hood is alarming or not functioning correctly, report immediately to the laboratory in charge, who will organize for maintenance. Have an emergency plan in place in cases such as a power failure when handling extremely hazardous chemicals or acids. For long-term experiments, generate a label clearly indicating work in progress and post on a sash of a fume hood. Precautions while using a laboratory fume hood. Do not place your face or head inside the hood. Keep hands out as much as possible. Do not use a fume hood as a storage area. They should contain only working volumes of chemicals. Do not use fume hood to vent or dispose of hazardous materials through air dilution. Do not overcrowd or clutter the fume hood. Overcrowding creates vortices and dead spots. Vortices may cause hazardous material to flow back out of the fume hood, causing exposure, and the formation of dead spots may allow ignitable concentrations of flammable and combustible material to accumulate, and this may cause fire. Large bulk equipment used in the hood will cause reverse flow of current. Do not place equipment in the hood that stops the sash from closing. Do not modify a fume hood or erect shelves in a fume hood for chemical or equipment storage. Do not place power boards or other spark-producing sources inside the hood. Do not forget to clean your fume hood after use. Make sure you remove all the chemicals and dispose them off appropriately. Wipe the bench inside the fume hood clean of any spillages, and make sure you stay safe, and do not forget to subscribe.